Show. And we are back. Technical difficulties in the world. That's okay. We're back on. We're going to continue our discussion with jealousy and in relationships. So we're back. Had some technical difficulties. If you did see us before, but you couldn't see us again, if you see us up here, put something in the chat. Let us know that you can see us back on. Okay? So we know we'll stay on. And if you have us, if you know us personally, and if you have our phone numbers, but just text us and let us know something's going on the chat, or just inbox us or put it in the comments or something like that, so we'll know how to check it. We don't know what's going on if nobody never says anything. Okay. All right. Hey, Ryan. Oh, wow, where y'all was at? Were y'all up here the whole time? We couldn't see nobody. If y'all want me, man, we ain't jealous. Thank you for coming on tonight. Wow, this look a little bit better. Okay, all right. So Chad was discussing jealousy. We're not gonna go back over the whole thing. Just if you didn't see, you just go back and recap the 45 minutes we did, but we're gonna go back through it. We was talking about jealousy, and then we was getting intertwined it into relationships, how jealousy comes into play into relationships. So I can't remember the last thing we said.
It was good.
It was good.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah,
Yes.
I feel bad that last live got kind of messed up because that was all the meat. That was all the meat and potatoes for it right there. So just going over some key points. First and foremost, jealousy is not a singular emotion. It is actually a complex feeling that is made up of several emotions that can include anger, shame, sadness, anxiety, resentment, even bitterness. Secondly, it can be either real or perceived, whereas you are actually factually in competition with somebody, or whether the competition is just in your head. And then, thirdly, it is desire based, and those desires can be either healthy or unhealthy based upon exactly what it is that you're pursuing and whether or not that desire is actually functional or efficient or beneficial for you. So those are the main characteristics for it. The two main ways that you can address them, actually there's three main ways. One, you can verbally or consciously tell yourself that you're not in competition, and that has to be based off of you being the only way that really sticks is whether or not you are in a place of security or contentment with your current state. So that's the one part. The second one is if you are not currently secure or happy with your current state, and the and you don't have that desire in your life, you work to obtain that desire. And again, this falls under the realm of being healthy or unhealthy. If it is healthy, then by all means pursue it. If it is unhealthy, then the third option to address it might be really beneficial for you, which is doing the work to release that desire from you. Um, and that's the skinny behind it. Jealousy is helpful in that when you take the an ability to step back and view what it is that you're being jealous about. Like, let's say you're in a relationship and you see, your friend's relationship, and they're all super nice and they seem super content. And you're like, oh, why can't I have that in my relationship? Take a pause, look, and see that that's actually it. What it is that you're jealous of is the fact that they're so nice and the chemistry flows so well, and that's what it is that you want, and you realize that you don't have it. So jealousy is your mind's way of telling you something is something's missing. All right, whether that's an authentic missing or something that you would truly like to see more of in your life. That requires further assessment. But if it is something that is worthwhile to have, that's what it's saying. Oh, I see this happening in this other relationship. I want more chemistry, and I want more of the better communication and so on and so forth. So what do? You start paying more attention to yourself. You start paying more attention to your partner. You start finding more common places where you two can genuinely connect on. You work on your communication skills. And then before you know it, you're at the place that you thought was missing. Now there's nothing to be jealous about.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Right.
No,
Right.
it's
Because
not.
we really, where we did leave off at is Tanisha was saying how people are not aware that they are jealous. And I was
Yes.
like,
Mhm.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I feel like as adults, and I get it. Maybe some people have like, maybe some people, just depending on just how you operate,
Mhm.
you may not catch it. Okay. It might be a situation that you just may not think. You be like, you really think that I was being jealous? Maybe some. But oftentimes, more than none, you know when you have that jealous streak in you. You know
Mhm.
when you are. And we don't tend to stop and think about, oh, this is really not about you. This is really about something that I lack. You
Mhm.
know?
Yes.
You have that chemistry. You guys have that communication going on. And I haven't even stopped to think about that. Oh, it's really I'm not a conversationalist. It's me. I really don't know how to hold a conversation. It's not you guys. It's really me.
Mhm.
So I'm really, struggling within my own self. So why am I jealous of you? I'd rather just take it out on you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather
I
attack you than to attack
I
me.
I have a wonderful story between my parents that my mother shared with me some time ago.
Hmm.
She said back when they were, I want to say, in like their late 20s, early 30s, and they're still, socialites. They're still going out and doing all this stuff. And she told me that my dad, my father could walk into a room, and within 5 minutes, he was the center of it. He was the guy at the center of the room, right?
Hmm.
He was fielding this conversation and that conversation, and people were just drawn to him. And she shared with me that it made her very resentful of him. She was like, "Oh my goodness, how is he so? How can he be so personable? He can just deal with this person and that person and this person and that person and so on and so forth." And it got to a point where she didn't even like going out with him for a while. And and then that put a little bit of a damper on their relationship. But it's it also brought her to a point to say, I realize I realize it has nothing to do with the fact that my husband is able to do these things. I realize I don't talk to people.
Hmm.
I realize that I don't strike up conversation like that. He's able to naturally glide into the center of the room and become, Mr. I can talk, I can hold five different conversations at once. But because he takes the time to understand people. I
Hmm.
don't understand people like that. I should try to. And she began to work on herself. She began to add to herself. She began to discover more of her conversation strategies. She began to cultivate more, being more personable. Now she's super good. She can strike up a conversation with virtually anybody, and it's not even the same way that he did it. She found her way based off of that, and she's very content with it.
Mhm. Wow. And I guess with another point that we was coming up with was saying too is that in the beginning we had two different topics we wanted to talk about. We was talking about when he or she is the one, and with the jealousy. And this is tying in so good together because the simple fact is sometimes you would think that person is the right one for you because you have a chemistry there,
Hmm.
but once you start getting with that person, that jealous streak start coming out because you're trying to understand something that person does not give to you, and you're trying to get from them, but they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that you're not attracted to that person. You are attracted to them, but some of the things, the attributes that you need, that you're used to, you're not getting. So you're trying to figure out how is he connecting with her on these levels when I got all this other stuff that that person does not have. You know what I'm saying? So right then and there, that gives you a conscious decision to say, okay, let me acknowledge something that this person does not have, and let me look at something that I do have. I'm not comparing myself to them. I don't need to be jealous about what she got going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She may, I'm going to use me and Kid for example. Me and Kid, two different individuals, but we get along good together. Y'all know for a fact, Kid come up here, she be dressed from the head to toe, she have makeup done, hair done. I look like some everybody else not to me. That's just me, because I don't have time for all that. I'm not saying I really don't. Got to do a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But Kid, she does it. That's her all the time. But if I didn't put my clothes on, please believe me, I know how to dress up. I know how to look like I'm supposed to look when I go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We both talk intellectually. She engaged with conversations that sometimes I may not get. Y'all see me just as quiet as I can be, but you best believe in the show when she scooping me on everything I missed. All this stuff I ain't get. She keep me in. I ain't get all that. So she keeps me in. But what I'm saying is, sometimes I can't be jealous of how her persona comes out and do. Okay, so but what I'm saying is this: I can't be jealous of another woman if she's giving a guy that I'm interested in to something different than what I can't do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have to look within myself to see, am what I'm giving healthy enough for me to not do more than what I should be doing.
Right.
Because sometimes we give more in a relationship to somebody. That's what we were saying in the end too. I'm giving a 25. This man requires a 5. I'm giving 20% more of something he does not even need, because he don't even know how to obtain it and appreciate it. So why am I giving more to somebody that don't even require it? You see what I'm saying? But then I can be jealous of somebody else that's meeting his whole need, but she ain't giving a 5, and he ain't but a 5 anyway, and I'm giving a 20.
He ain't but a 5.
And I'm jealous because she a 5 and I'm a 20. Even if it's vice versa. Why would I be jealous if she a 20 and I'm a 5 and he a 5? Why am I jealous when she a 20? Well, he can't handle but a 5. So why am I jealous because she a 20? He can't handle 20, he can't handle 5. He can't handle 6.
And that's that observation. You gotta step back and analyze.
Yes. Exactly the point.
And
That is exactly the point that I was going to drive home.
Even when
You gotta know where you're at, and you guys have heard me speak. You guys have heard me speak plenty of times, so you've heard me talk on this. It really boils down to knowing who you are. If you take the time to figure yourself out, and you realize that you're not even 5. Let's say if you're a 7, right? 7 is the best you can do. You're not gonna go looking for 8s. You damn sure ain't gonna go trying to match up to a 20. You're gonna go find another 7, because that is the capacity that you move at.
Yes.
Right.
And if you do that, that means they're satisfied because they're getting exactly what they need from you, because they are built to hold a 7, and you're shaped like a 7. And you're built like a 7, and they're shaped like you're built to hold a 7, and they're shaped like a 7. Find what you can find, what you are. Do what you are. Do what you are. Not everybody's not built to handle millions upon millions of dollars. All right. Could they be? Possibly. But to walk around saying like, oh, everybody's no, everybody ain't built to handle that type of life. They ain't about that life. That's really a really short way of saying it's not part of their design. Is that shortchanging them? No, because whatever your shape is, whatever your pace, however fast you can run, or however much you can lift, or however many different skills you can handle from a mental standpoint, as long as you are doing what you need to do to meet your max, there is no room for jealousy.
Mm-mm.
If you're meeting your max and you realize that you're meeting your max, there's no room for it. There's no room for jealousy. If you realize that and you're comfortable with that and you're confident in that fact and you're secure that you are doing your best, that you're making and taking the effort to um make adjustments in those things as time goes forward, because with time comes changes in what your needs and wants are, of course. But as long as you're doing that and you're okay with where you're at and with what you're doing to move forward, there is absolutely no room for jealousy.
Mm.
I got the baddest woman. I got the baddest woman in the world on my arm, and if I know she's with me and why and for what reasons, man, we could walk into a room where she is the only woman there. We could walk into a room with 100 other dudes that could be taller, darker, lighter, stronger, faster, richer than me. But if I know that she's there with me, they could try to talk to her all night. I could be sitting on the other end of the room, be like, "Y'all y'all saying do what y'all want. She chose me already.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good." Yes,
Mm-hmm.
she is fine, isn't she? I
Right.
know.
You talk to him.
Because
That's
that
right.
confidence is there.
That's
And
I
it.
she
know.
was there from the get go.
Mhm.
I
Before
came
you.
I came in with her. I'm leaving with her. I know.
That's
Mhm.
right. He said he knew. That's right. And see, and that's the thing. We have to be confident, and I think that's the whole point that I'm getting from it now. Even though we didn't get all this, everybody, a lot of people may not have gotten all this in the beginning, however the show had went, but just getting to the point that right there, once we acknowledge what we can, what we're able to do, acknowledge that and know yourself, find out the things about yourself, not trying to find out what I can do to get this or what I can do to do more to be selfish for whatever. I don't need to get all that to be selfish, because I'm trying to work myself up to get this particular person or get this particular thing. And if I don't keep that skill going on and the relationship don't work or the job don't work or whatever don't work, and I let that skill go, whatever are you doing it for? I'm trying to
There it
compete
is.
with this person. I'm doing all this to compete with you. And then when it don't work right or when it's over,
Mhm.
oh, I don't need it no more.
Mhm. But see, the thing about competing is you can't move until that person moves. That's the thing. So you always wait. I'm always waiting on you. I'm always waiting on you to make your move before I move. That's the thing
Wow.
about competing. And
That's a
no
good way
nobody
to
got
think.
time for that. I don't got
No.
time for you to move. So
See,
I got to
here
wait every morning till you
here's
get
the
up.
Whoa.
crazy thing. Here's the crazy thing with that jealousy part. And you've heard me use these two terms, real or perceived. When it's real, you're doing your part in the competition, and they're competing back and forth with you, and so on and so forth. When it's perceived, you're making the moves for them in your head.
Mm-hmm.
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 Then it's like, oh, they're going to do this. What if they do this? I'm going to have to do this. What if they do this? I'm going to have to do this. And that's what gets people in trouble, because sometimes people can take that perception so far out. And this does happen in real cases too, because sometimes people can take an action and respond so drastically to it. That's where a lot of where we get these crimes of passion from. It's like, oh, such and such was talking to a woman, and he said he wanted her, and she wanted him, and I adopted that mindset of, if I can't have her, nobody can, and that's where you get some of those situations from. And that's jealousy uncontrolled.
Mm-hmm.
That's jealousy where it's like, and a few other things, but that's jealousy uncontrolled. That is where you are feeling the loss of this desire or this one so badly and so intensely that you feel you have to match it with equal intensity. And that's where you hear about people get locked up in basements and people go missing.
Yeah.
And,
Mm-hmm.
they show up at the other person who likes them's house, and bloodbaths and all that
Right.
nonsense occurs.
Right.
Right. So it has to be checked. It has to be checked. It has to be, like I was saying in the first live. It has to be checked to see if this is a real thing that's actually happening, or is this just what I'm thinking is happening. Conversely, not conversely, but on another note, is this thing that I'm jealous of, is it even healthy for me to want this, or
Mm-hmm.
is it unhealthy? You know, if I'm with somebody and there's people that are asking for her, or trying to see if she's available, and she's saying no, that's nothing for me to be jealous about. That my woman's with me. She's telling them she's not available. She's telling them she's with me. She's telling them she's happy, and I know she's happy. So I'm good. But if I were to see her entertaining it and being like, "Oh, I'm about to go out with so and so because he said I could go to lunch," that's something for me to assess and be like, "Are you bouncing?" That's something for me to assess, because that's really happening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not for me to jump to conclusions. Another big proponent of jealousy is the jumping to conclusions part. You see something
Mm-hmm.
happening, or you perceive something happening, and you will make up steps. In the case of it being perceived, you'll make up steps 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the case of even in the case of it being real, one step could happen, and you'll take steps 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out in your head. You have to measure it out. You have to take the time to stop and assess, stop and check.
Mm. Wow.
Mm.
Wow. I mean, for real, honestly, I think that if we just sit down and, like you said, assess ourselves and communicate and find out, what it is in any type of situationship.
Yes.
You said it. We could find out if it's healthy for us or not. A whole lot of different things that we're going through. If people would take the time to sit down and say, "Look, let's sit down and figure out if this is." I'm gonna listen to you. You listen to me. Let's figure out if this is healthy. Then we can go our separate ways. Then we can think to ourselves, "Okay, according to what he said, blah 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 blah.
Yes.
What do I have to do to try to line up with this? Is it even worth me even trying to do all this extra stuff? What am I doing all this extra stuff for?" You see what I'm saying? Like
You
you
said
say,
it.
you acknowledge what you can and you can't do. And then you got to see, is this person outside your range or inside your range? I mean, for real, you do. And then it
It
will
is.
keep a whole lot of extra foolishness from going on. Sometimes we be in places and things and situations that we don't have no business being in whatsoever if we would have just stepped back and looked at it
Mhm.
before we went in.
Yep.
You know,
Not
it's
trying to pull,
it,
not trying to pull a Kevin Samuels at all. You got, and I'm using this not just in the relationship realm, but in the context of virtually anything that you go after. If you were 7, don't go after 10s and then be scratching your head why it's so hard.
yeah.
If you would
Why
if
so
you
hard?
if you
You
were
right.
10 if you were
You
10,
have
don't be going after don't if you were 10, don't be going after 5s and wondering why you ain't satisfied.
Yeah, right.
Ooh.
Right.
All right. It really works both ways. Don't overwork or underwork yourself. Don't overqualify or underqualify yourself. Don't go don't put yourself on a pedestal or allow other people to put you on a pedestal, but don't dig a hole in the ground for yourself either. Like, find your level. Find your level. All right. If this is where you at, find what matches that, so that you ain't over here trying to climb up, or you ain't down here wondering why it's not settling right for you.
Hey.
All right, do your
Yeah, right.
thing, and that you find your level ground, you find your balance. That eliminates the jealousy.
That's how you can rock with it like that.
Mhm.
You can lean with it, rock with it. You can lean with it, rock with it. You be trying to get up.
You
The whole wait a minute, wait a minute, wait
find
a
your
minute. You can't
damn
even
find
hold
your
up
damn lean. Rock when you need to,
and
Right.
fall.
and
Hmm.
that's
Crazy.
that's really it.
It is. I think that's a lot of women, not only women, but probably men too.
Oh, if any man walks around here telling you they're not jealous, they're a damn liar, or that
Mhm.
they've never been jealous. That's a lie, straight out the pit.
It
That's a
is.
lie,
Right.
straight out of hell.
Right.
It's
Right.
a
Wow.
it's a human it is a human emotion.
Mhm. Mhm. Well,
Well,
that was good. I hate half of it got the bloop like this,
Well,
but
We made up for it.
Up there.
yeah,
Because both halves was like extremely good. So maybe both videos are up there.
I'm with it. I'm with it. I said I was gonna come with it. I came with it. Either way, both times.
Really, really
yeah,
good.
it is. It's a really good thing, and I think one thing that me and Kid we was talking about yesterday was having a dialogue where it's not just it'll be another view. You know, like we're talking about the view of jealousy now, and then someone else talks about a different side of a jealousy, so we can all
Sure.
get different perspectives on it. You know, because just because we say one thing, somebody else may have another opinion. We don't have a whole lot of comments up here today about the opinions that people have. You know, maybe they may have tried to type something in, we couldn't see it. But we're so sorry if you tried to type something in and we couldn't get your comments. It was nothing on us of technical difficulties that we could not see it. But if you have a comment that you want to put up on jealousy or something like that, as regarding to a relationship or any kind of situationship, put it in the comments so that we can go back and address that later.
Mm-hmm.
We do want to address your comments that you have. Your comments are important to us, and they do matter what you're thinking. Like you said, because we're not psychiatrists, we're not doctors, we're not professionals on relationships or clinical professionals with this. We're just giving our opinion.
Right.
And we're talking from experience and the different things that we've heard or went through or been through. Maybe we can help somebody else with it, not just a basic conversation. But it is a basic conversation. But most basic conversations do pull out some great points that we can help one another with. So that was really, really good. That was a good one on jealousy. To me, it was.
It really was. I enjoyed it.
I did too.
I enjoyed it.
I really did too, Chad. We thank you so much for coming up here. And I guess we thank y'all so much. It must have been good because y'all ain't saying nothing.
They just listening like, what they gonna say next? What they gonna say next?
Hello, ladies.
So we Tanisha has been in charge and has been doing this thing, getting the kings to come up here on this show. So I am getting together next month, the month of May, where I'm going to have all of these wonderful, phenomenal women come on this show for the month of May.
Mm-hmm.
So we are we're going to be ready.
Yes.
I'm going to get these topics together. I'm going to get these women together. And we're going to see how we're going to rock May out. Okay.
Yes.
You watching?
I'm looking forward for you guys to come and be a part of the chat group to see how we're going to bring it for the month of May. Okay?
I'm going to answer y'all that.
We done heard from y'all.
Yes.
For a whole month of April. Some months back in November, December, we done heard everything. And the first thing I want to talk about, I was listening to somebody on TikTok, right? And they was talking about how Steve Harvey have given out the wrong information to women about this 90-day rule, right?
That's Chad. What do you think about that?
Okay. And this particular guy said that Steve Harvey should not have told women to do this 90-day rule. Really, what women should be doing is like a 3-date rule. By the third date, which should be like within 3 weeks, it should be like a sexual encounter. Go and get it out. Yeah. Go and get it out the way, because why would you spend 3 months having a whole conversation? Okay, going out. Now, most times in 3 months, most couples go out like every other week, every weekend, maybe every other, but that's a whole lot of dates, right?
Yeah,
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a whole lot of talking, right? Whole lot of spending money, only to have this encounter that everybody waiting for, and you don't like it, right? Or he don't like it. So what's gonna happen?
It's gonna be over.
It's gonna be over. What y'all gonna do? Sit there and try to figure out how y'all gonna please each other? So this guy on TikTok said, no, 3rd date. Okay, 3rd date. Let's see, this camera is
I
off.
told you, man, you got to see this. It's getting on you now.
Yes, I'll do it for you. 3. These.
3rd date, right?
Yep.
Number 3.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
weeks. He said within 3 weeks, get this encounter over with.
So sleep with somebody within 3
In
weeks.
3 weeks. He
Oh.
said by the first date,
And
you chit chatting. Okay, because I wrote this down. I said, wait a minute, what? I got to get the women
I need to
perspective
see
on
that
it.
TikTok.
By the first date, you just chit chatting. By the second date, you should go ahead on and have this video call. You know what I'm saying? You know, see how each other talk. Not video call like video sex, just video call, like seeing each other, see how you guys talk like video chatting or whatever.
Mhm.
By the third date or whatever, you guys should see how it is.
So that must be somebody you never met before.
And I said the third date.
But shoot, that's 3 months because we date every month. We're going to date but once a month.
Once a month.
That's
see,
3 months.
and
We're going to date once a month.
Tanisha
Once
said,
a
I'm gonna
month.
stretch that.
and
night.
that's why you got to factor in. I'm saying the 3-day rule for the 3-day rule for myself,
You
but
got 3
that's
weeks.
where you also have to factor in, and this is being dead ass realistic. This is where you factor in just your personality and individual factors. It's not to say that that 90-day rule doesn't work at all for anybody. That's not true.
Mhm.
What I think what really needs to be said is that the likelihood of you coming across a man that's going to truly be okay with the 90-day rule is very small.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Chad, you said
Honestly, at the outset, within 30 days, something should happen. And even then, you have to take into effect, what about that notion that says that a woman knows whether or not she wants to sleep with a man within the first 5 minutes of knowing him?
I mean, yeah.
So why are you waiting? If you know within 5 minutes, why are you waiting 3 months?
Because the same thing. I gotta acknowledge. I gotta find out where your head at, because you can't just, you know
All
what?
right.
Look, hold on, because we're gonna go into
I know there's other factors that go into it. I do. I understand.
But what we're gonna have is we're gonna start having the shows with the counterclaims. We're gonna have the counterclaims. We just gonna be the host, and we're gonna have the 2 guests. That's how our shows are about to start going.
Yes. So the 2 guests is
we're
gonna be, sometimes the guest gonna be a male and a female. We're gonna sit back and we're gonna let y'all hash this out. We're gonna figure this out right here.
So we're about to step it up a notch.
Yes,
and
we are.
See how our show is gonna go from that point on.
I think it's gonna be good though. I know it's gonna be good. Chad had already said 3 days.
Oh,
from
please.
3 days to 3 days.
Listen, I know y'all have me back on at some point in time. I'll be ready.
Oh my goodness.
But this was a good one. But thanks for coming, Chad. We really
Absolutely.
enjoyed. We thank everybody who came up here and viewed, everybody that's going to view the 2 lives tonight.
Yes.
It was 2 of them. So, but thank you guys. It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But
was there anything that you missed? Anything that you want to cover or recap or anything?
Just where anybody can find me at. If anybody's interested in coaching, if anybody knows anybody who would like to, who has suffered PTSD and is looking for a counselor, I am, like I said, I am a certified professional PTSD counselor. If anybody's interested in life coaching, if you heard how I approached things tonight, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook under Chad H. Nails or Unveiled Coaching and Counseling. All other social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok, you can find me as Unveiled Coach. And if you're interested, reach out to me. I'd love to see if I can be of service.
Yes. Don't forget, Chad, talk about your products that you have, your book.
Right.
And
in addition to my expertise as a coach and counselor, I also have my own line of body care products available. That's why my skin be glowing and my beard be so full and stuff like that. You can reach out to me also on Facebook at Henri Samari Body Shop. That's ENRISUMARI Body Shop, or at my website, HenriSamariBodyShop.com.
Okay. And what about your book?
Thank you for reminding me. You're right. I also have published a book of love poetry, collection of love poems entitled Love Chemistry, which you can find under my pen name, C. Harrison, and that is available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. And what about your CDs? Chad, you ain't saying nothing. What's
What
going on?
CDs? Oh, my group. Okay, I'm also part of an a cappella jazz group called Lord. I'm also part of an a cappella jazz group called In a Way. We have 2 CDs which you can find on Amazon. You can also see our playlist on not Shopify, on Spotify, and you can see some of our past performances at In a Way TV on YouTube. That's our channel. I think that's everything.
Yes, what I'm going to do is make sure Mr. Chad, King Chad, puts this in the chat so we can look him up. Yeah. We're not coming up here with no people, y'all think I'm a little country girl. I don't know nobody. I know some folks, y'all.
And see, and I don't know nobody at all. So we balance each other out.
Yeah. See, he gonna put his stuff up there. See, but that's one thing I like about dealing with people that, having conversations with people. We're not trying to overbound who we are. We're just regular people. But I like it to the point that sometimes Chad will point me out and say, what about this or what about that? And that's what I do to them too. Okay, we more than who we say we are up here. So we're going to put ourselves out there. We ain't trying to be more than nobody else, but it's more to us than what you see. So, was that okay?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure somebody put a comment. Somebody, oh Lord, I got lost it. Anyway. All right, he has it up there, so we'll put it on the chat so you'll be able to see that. If we don't have any more questions, anybody? Key, you gonna take us out? Or Chad, you gonna take us out? We can't play no music, so we just gotta.
Can't do no music. Nope.
Can't do no more music.
All right. Well, for myself and for these 2 absolutely fantastic queens who love to have me on and who I love to be on with. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you found it entertaining as well as informational. And they will be back next week with me as a watcher, not a guest.
Yes, we didn't talk about people for next week.
That's right.
Oh,
who is next week?
We have the.
See, I'm glad I said something.
What is that? What you said, Chad?
I said I'm glad I said something. Y'all got to remember who y'all bringing on next week.
Tanisha has put together this whole month, so I had to ask her, who do we have for
next week we have the Say It With Your Chest podcast coming on. We got 2 kings from Alabama. Man, I think we're going to like this. So we're not going to talk about the topic right now because we try to get one in that's really, really good. We're just bouncing back and forth between one. But it's Roderick Williams and Kevin Mays. They're from Alabama. So we got 2 kings from Alabama coming in here.
She getting them out of state.
So we getting them out of state. We trying to get out this jealousy thing. So we let people that want to do the podcast, you go ahead and pick yours. We ain't going to pick the same people that y'all picking.
Right.
So this pool is big enough for everybody. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about that next week, but we still going to be in relationships, but adult conversation in adult life. I think it's going to be really good conversations that we have not had a chance to conversate with them. So this is going to be something that we're going to all enjoy. So with that being said, we're going to enjoy the rest. Everybody enjoy the rest of the week and the rest of the day. Make sure that you're not being jealous. Have all your key points you need to be the best person that you can be. And then you know what? If you can't shoot for the moon, just shoot for the stars. If you can't shoot for the stars, just shoot for the clouds. If you can't shoot for the clouds, just shoot for the roof. If you can't shoot for the roof, just shoot for the roof. And you can't do that, just stop shooting.
Just stop shooting, period.
Just stop shooting. It'll come.
Yeah.
No, just keep striving.
Keep striving. Don't stop. Keep striving. But be the best you can be. Don't try to be like nobody else. Be your authentic self. Because no matter what situation, no matter what circumstance, no matter who, God has somebody just for you. Don't have to break your back to try to do something somebody's doing. The right person is going to come along. It's going to be exactly what you need, doing exactly what you have to do. You don't have to do no extra.
That's right.
And that's going to be that's for me. I'm saying it for me. Okay? So without being said, without all that,
Peace out. See y'all next week.
Have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Hold on, Chad.